Seberg is a very interesting film. This premiered at Venice last year, then just came out uh, here in the States. Did not release wide. It topped out 373 theaters, and then it went down last weekend. So if you didn't get to see it, you're not going to because this was released by Amazon, who never has
Hey,
box office success. So, par for the course here, it'll be on Prime soon. Uh,
yay!
yeah,
Better for me.
it's directed by Benedict Andrews, and it's about Jean Seberg, the famous actress played by Kristen Stewart. And yeah, this movie doesn't come quite together, but you can like see all the threads and like appealing parts about why they wanted to make this movie that would be tantalizing to anyone. And it's just kind of messy, which is unfortunate because I think Kristen Stewart, who is quite a talented actress, but she's having a really bad run of bad luck with some poorly received projects, Charlie's Angels and Underwater, and now this one. But I think she is giving it her all. And the Gene Seberg story is not one I was familiar with, but ultimately, really, it's about a movie about a famous actress who I think she was really more successful in France. Kind of became like a really famous part of the French New Wave at the time, and in the late '60s, she shows public support for the Black Panther movement and starts giving monetary donations because she's, of course, a very successful, comfortably living actress at the time. And as a result, the FBI starts uh, trying to ruin her life through the Counter Pro program, which, of course, eventually became illegal,
Doesn't
right?
sound like the FBI I know.
Yeah, of course not, right? And along those lines, you have Vince Vaughn, who's this kind of shitty FBI guy who's playing a real dick, honestly. And his understudy is a new person to the force in LA, a new detective played by Jack O'Connell, and his wife is played by Mark Qualley. And Seberg, she early on she meets someone affiliated with the Panthers, Keem Jamal, played by Anthony Mackie, and his wife is played by Zazie Beetz. She's like, oh, all these talented actors. This should be good, and yet it's not. And and like as annoying as I'm watching it, I'm like, I get what they were going for. They're like, wow, this is kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Sharon Tate gone too soon, remembered for the wrong reasons. Should have been more than that. Gene Seberg, life was totally ruined by the FBI after everything that happens in her story. You can look it up if you want. It's just history. She never acts again. Like her life completely changes due to this, and like it you could see that that's like the thread they were trying to wield, but like they don't commit to giving Stewart, I think, enough runway to really run with the role because she is good when she's given time, but like they kind of like pull back on the point of view, and we're almost focusing more on Jack O'Connell's presence in the movie as he's like Hakeem Jamal has like a quote early on to Gene. He's like, in terms of like changing institutional racism and everything. He's like, you gotta change one mind at a time. And like, oh, okay. Well, that one mind was Gene, and Gene hopefully can try and make a difference at least by just being an ally and offering her house for meetings, money, and all that. No, actually, this movie, that one voice was Jack fucking O'Connell, who was the one doing all the surveillance, but decided that he realized he was being a piece of shit, and like it doesn't come together. It's unfortunate because I think there was definitely a much more a much stronger movie that could have landed, I think, a more effective emotional punch somewhere in here. But yeah, you're just kind of wasting a lot of talent. Like Margaret Qualley, talk about a role does not pass the Bechdel test. She's just literally just playing the young wife for a new couple. I think she's
Yeesh.
just a tad overqualified for that at this point. As an Emmy nominated actor. Um,
Jeez.
yeah, so this is it's a bit of a miss, but I think it's an interesting movie to at least give a peek to, just to see um Stewart. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that it didn't quite work out because I remember when I saw the first trailer, I was pretty intrigued. But yeah, it's a little rough.
To have a movie with where Kristen Stewart is the lead become about Vince Vaughn and his growth, and to kind of overlook the female lead is just, especially in this climate, yikes. Not what you want. And definitely something I think Amazon should have been like looking at more closely. Like, who is this actually about, and what
Yeah,
where is the plot going? So
this
that's a
just
big
need to be
miss.
rewritten, honestly.